minds, and that's what we need to do in politics.
I wonder if Zach Polanski will be able to change people's minds when it comes to his policy of wanting to legalise all drugs. He talked about it again a couple of weeks ago. Do you agree with that still?
I mean, it's been long-standing party policy to legalise and regulate, which is the crucial word,
yes,
drugs.
And Mr. Polanski has reiterated that.
He has reiterated it, I have reiterated it many times, and the reason for that is this, that the war on drugs has patently failed, that the Misuse of Drugs Act is 50 years old, it's out of date. If we want to try to reduce the harms associated with drug addiction, then we need to start treating it as a health issue, not a criminal one. And if you regulate drugs, then you take it out of the hands of the criminal gangs, and you have a better chance of making sure that those people that do have addiction problems can seek help and support.
I mean, if it's legalised, though, you're talking about legalising heroin?
We're talking not in the way that you'd go down the road and pick it up from your local corner shop. No, of course not. Alcohol and tobacco are legalised, but they're an awful lot harder to get hold of, ironically, than drugs. Frankly, you can just ring up if you know where to get your drugs from.
But just so I'm clear, heroin would be legalised, crack would be legalised, ketamine would be legalised, crystal meth would be legalised.
What we would do is to take a step-by-step approach at regulation to see how each step works. But one could imagine, for example, that you could get a prescription if you needed it, and you could get a regulated amount if you showed that you were over 18. These are things that we should at least explore, because right now we can say categorically that the war on drugs has failed, that more people can get drugs more easily than they can order a pizza.
Right.
We need to be able to make it harder, and also to support those people who need help.
Well, harder, that is interesting, because if you legalised it, wouldn't more people
I think that's exactly wrong. I think at the moment, as I say, it is so easy to get drugs when you're underage, kids in secondary schools. We know that that's a problem. At least if you had a regulated system, as you do with alcohol, as you do with tobacco, you would have a better chance of keeping people safer for longer in terms of what they go on with.
So you turn 18 and you've got children, I've got children, grown-up children, you know, mine are late teens. They turn 18 and they go, oh, I could try crack because it's legalised.
But they can do that now, Victoria. You know they can. They can make a few phone calls and do it without you ever knowing, whether anybody having any kind of interaction with them, to have conversations with them and so forth. We need to have a debate about drug addiction in this country. And one of the ways of doing that would be to say that we should have a review of the Misuse of Drugs Act, which is, as I say, 50 years old, and it isn't working. We've got a massive problem with drug addiction and with the gangs associated with it. Do you think it's a vote winner? Because when you look at polling, a YouGov poll this year suggested that 83% of people want drugs like heroin, like crack, to remain illegal. And maybe they will do too. What I'm saying is we need to have the debate and look at some of the options, because what's happening now isn't working. We've got a government that keeps talking about being tough on drugs. We need to be smart on drug policy. We can learn from the experts. There are plenty of experts in this field who will say that we need to radically change to a regulated system, because right now we've got a free-for-all, and people are more at risk, I would argue, from that free-for-all than they would be if we reviewed this, took a stepwise approach and see what works.
OK. Let's have a quick look at some of tomorrow's front pages, shall we? Hopefully.